I go back to the dashboard, I click on a survey, see we have the other options here relating to that survey. If you are working with other students on a survey, then you can go into permissions and add other people to your survey. So these people will also be able to edit, access your survey. So if it's a collaboration, it's the option you want to choose so that you can all work together on the same survey. In order to get your survey out there, distribute it to other people, click it to distribute and set your details. So you have an open date, it is usually set to today's date. You'll have a closing date, which is automatically set to a month's time. So if that isn't what you want, you need to change it. If you don't want a closing date at all, you can turn that toggle off, and then it will just keep going until you decide to turn it off. You can also decide, rather than having a closing date, you could tell it that instead you want it to close once you've received a certain number of responses. So after 250 responses, the survey will just automatically close. So make sure that all these settings are correct. It's got an open date and a close date that are appropriate for your survey. And before you do anything else, you'll need to make sure that your survey is launched. So you'll have to click on Launch Survey before anybody else can actually fill it out. So once you've got those dates set, the next thing to do is launch your survey. You will then find you've got a link. So if you just want to have anybody fill it out who's got the link, then you can just copy the link, or you've got the option to copy a QR code that will include the link. So the QR code could be put on a poster or something like that. But either way, the QR code or the link, once it's launched, will enable people to access the survey and fill it out. If you want some control over that, then go to the Access Control tab. So at present, the default is it's set to public, which means that anybody who has the link can fill out the survey. So you need to ask yourself whether that is okay or whether there's a potential problem there. If somebody has the link and they forward it on to somebody else, does that matter? Or do you want to restrict your access to particular people? You could password protect it, but of course somebody could share the password as well as the link. Or if you want to be really restrictive about who fills your survey out and who doesn't, you could specify particular individuals with an email list. So you basically add specific emails of people that you want to fill it out, send those surveys to those particular people, and only those people will be able to complete the survey. So it's really up to you. You just need to think ahead of time whether you need to apply any kind of access control. Once you've done that, you sent your survey out, you're waiting for the responses to come in. You can see on your dashboard whether any responses have come in. I've just got the one for this particular example, so we'll take a look at that. If I go to Analyze, it will give me an overview of my responses. I only have one response, so the overview is pretty simple, but it's basically showing me in chart or graph form, where appropriate, the responses that I've received, or the free text questions answers that I've received, or whatever else it might be. And I can adjust these, I can display these as pie charts or just as grid tables, display these in different ways. If I want to take any of these and include them, Word document or something like that, I can right-click, save that image, and then insert it into Word or wherever. I can also download the entire overview document. I can download it as a PDF file, so that will include the visuals, the charts and graphs, or I can download all the responses as a CSV file, which will basically include all the data, and I can then open that CSV file in Excel or SPSS if I need to do some number crunching. I can browse the individual responses, so I can go through each response one by one. If necessary, delete individual responses. If I had some responses that were just a test, then I could get rid of those. And I can also apply some filters. So I can do some very simple analysis, some cross-tabulations. So I can ask it some questions. So in this particular case, I can say, for instance, how many people over the age of 25 gave the answer books. So you can start comparing the responses, get some very simple information that way. So although you can export these responses into Excel and analyze the results there, depending on what it is that you need to do, you may be able to get the information you need just from inside JISC online surveys. So the filters can be quite useful in terms of analysing the responses that you're getting. That is JISC online surveys in a nutshell. So once you set up your access to JISC online surveys, create a survey, you start building it, adding the questions, test what you've got, and once you've tested it, distribute the survey using the options that we've gone through, and then analyze the results or export them and analyze them somewhere else. If you need any more help and support, feel free to contact the skills team in the library. Go to the library website and you can sign up for a workshop on JISC online surveys or make an individual appointment to talk to us about it.